Do you have any non-public today?
Yes, we do, we have one.
Okay, good, because that's all we brought.
You know why? He
Push
didn't
the
have it
button,
'cause
it says
Leo's not
record.
around.
That's all I can do.
Sir, are we live?
Is that?
Are we live, sir?
You are.
Thank you.
Maybe,
7:05, Bob.
maybe. And if it doesn't, I don't care.
Don't get started until she turns the recorder on.
Yours is wrong, look at mine's right
I
on.
didn't want you to forget this.
You're so good, thank you for keeping it in check. And I forgot to add the
It's on here.
Yeah, she,
No, I'm talking about this, oh, you're right, at the bottom as well,
yep.
just approve the minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna call this meeting to order, Thursday, May 25th, the meeting of the Board of Selectmen, 7:05. We have all three selectmen present, we have the town administrator present, and we have the town secretary, assessor, recorder present. Okay. I have minutes, I have two non-public, and I need the public minutes. Can I bring those over with me?
Two.
I did. I thought I did.
Yeah, they should have with the, book underneath.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I'll make a motion to approve the, regular meeting minutes from May 18th, 2017.
How about that?
They were in the basket.
And I'll second the motion.
Okay, any further discussion on that? Once we have to find them, so we can sign them.
You just made a motion for the regular minutes, correct?
Yes, regular
Okay,
minutes.
I was
Bob
kind of on this
seconded.
side. Okay, yeah, I got Bob's the second. Yeah.
I think we got too many hands stirring the pot.
I do.
We just had them all over there.
I know, I must have left them right on the counter. Because I was more concerned about getting the agenda out.
Yeah.
I come in the room and the first thing I get, where's my agenda?
But you know, you can still vote on it after the debate or
Yeah.
whatever.
Was there any discussion? We all read it. Any discussion on the
No.
minutes?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The minutes were approved.
Okay, so once you get them, we can sign
Sign
them.
Okay, I have two other minutes. There's one. And there's a second.
Okay,
And entertain motions on those.
let's see which one this one is.
They didn't state the RSA up the top, did they, Bob?
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the non-public minutes per RSA 91-A-3, colon, 2B, let's see, motion to approve that, yeah, for, that was, what was last week? I forget.
It was May
Today's the
18th.
25th. The 18th, yeah, for May 18th.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion on the minutes? They are not gonna be sealed, so we're good, they're good to go.
Okay, no discussion anyways.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to accept the non-public, minutes per RSA 91-A, colon, 3-2A, from May 18th.
And I'll second that.
Any further discussion on that? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
To be sealed or not sealed?
Not sealed.
Not sealed, okay. I just put it down to. So it's in minutes.
One was
Cora's gotta sign this.
exactly.
Thank you. This is the non-public.
Okay,
It's 8:27.
I'm gonna initially start off tonight talking about the, some building maintenance issues.
Excuse me,
Go ahead.
before you do that.
Yep.
Public comment.
Yes, sir, thank you. I'm gonna open up the public comment. We have two gentlemen in the room. Anything, sir? Fred, anything?
Yep, Fred Mullins. First of all, I met May 17th, last Wednesday, with Jim Donison from Assistant Superintendent Hooksett Highway Department. perambulated the town line between Dunbarton and Hooksett. And the paperwork's been submitted to the state archives and also to the corresponding towns. We still have to do Hopkinton this year, and we might have to send them another notice to say, we gotta get it done this year. So then we're not due until the town of Bow in another 2 years, and the town of Ware in another 5 years, so we should be set for all.
I believe Hopkinton, did they send us a letter last week?
Yeah, the email, you saw from the, I forwarded it to you?
From Hopkinton?
Well, it was just saying thank you for commending, and I printed it for the selectmen to
Okay,
read.
no, I remember.
You
seeing
weren't
that.
CC'd on that?
I don't think so.
Well, it was just an acknowledgement of the hard work, and
Right.
they realize it is of importance, it's Hopkinton.
Yep,
So, I will make sure it gets passed to you,
okay,
Yeah.
good.
and, so
Well,
I was,
it was the person he went on the first preambulation walk with.
I'm not sure who he was.
Don, was it
Yes.
Don Lars?
Goffstown was the first one this year.
No, it was a selectman from,
Oh,
Goffstown.
from Hopkinton?
No, I think it might have been Goffstown.
Okay, it's on the next
okay,
page.
we'll get that email, get that forwarded.
David, I met with David Pierce from Goffstown.
no,
No?
No, it was from Hopkins.
It was?
it was a
Okay.
Hopkinton selectman that said thank you for, it might have been, have you done Hopkinton yet?
No,
I think that's what he was doing, is acknowledging that he's making the effort to get the
See,
walk.
I thought it was
Okay.
Goffstown because he had done the walk with Fred.
No, it wasn't Goffstown, no, it was.
Yeah.
well, maybe it's the same selectman I did it with 7 years ago.
Maybe.
Dave's on the third page. We left him by himself.
I'm sorry.
The other question I have is, does anybody know yet when the old home day is gonna be? Is that set yet? Because I had a couple of people ask me, and I said, I want to find out.
Well, the recreation committee's meeting this week, right?
They met yesterday.
Do they do Old
Oh,
Home
it's,
Day?
no, it's just the Old Home Day themselves.
Okay.
They
So
did
it's-
set it, but I'll confirm it, I've got it in my invite.
Okay.
It's either the 16th or the 23rd, it was, of September,
September?
yeah.
Okay. Cause
But
I heard
I'll-
talk the other day it was gonna be maybe August, but that's why, so a couple of people questioned me, because they're trying to line up, keep days open for it.
Yeah,
What was the date, Lean, do you know?
I wanna say it's the 16th, but I want
Of
to.
September.
Yeah,
Yeah, they originally said August 19th, but then the supper couldn't be held the same night, so
right,
they probably went back to.
yeah, I'll have to confirm that.
Okay.
Okay,
Anything else, Fred?
No, that's it.
Okay, we'll make sure we'll get that email passed to you, because I think it was kinda nice that Hopkinton acknowledged.
Right,
And-
that's good.
yeah, and I printed it off so they could read it, because I thought it was a nice
Yeah.
compliment to all your hard work.
Okay, I just wanna do a follow-up on some of the building maintenance, just, building this, we had one proposal from Century Roofing, and, we wanted to make sure I think we had some discussion last week, I wanna finalize discussion, that we wanna get a second, bid to make sure this runs a sanity check, that we're not being overpriced for something.
Okay, and this is in reference to this building and just the ridge cap being replaced because it's blowing off.
Well, yeah, he actually quoted both, but I don't think that
Yeah.
I think he inspected it and he thought that the rest of the roof was okay.
Is this going
Yeah,
under
one
there
would
or
come
just new
into a
business?
Just,
sealed bid
follow- it's a-
situation
it's a
anyways.
Follow-up,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
But the other one
Yeah.
only takes a couple of quotes.
Yeah,
If-
so we just
yeah.
wanna make sure we have a sanity check
Right.
of an extra quote, and then we can make a decision quickly on that.
Okay, now, who said they had another roofer? You have one for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we wanna get that this week solved. Or by next week. Now, on referencing library, I was charged with, meeting with the painters, and I met with 2 contractors. And my first impression of both painters, they were both equally competent. They are in the process of preparing proposals, one is in right now. The second one will be in next Tuesday after the holiday, and then we can make a decision. I asked them to give me a starter quote on this building, the front side of this building. I was getting words like, whoever did this before they didn't prep the surface properly. The quote was, you're not gonna believe the price, not for this side, but I'm gonna do the whole building for a great price, but it's gotta be prepped. And both of them acknowledge that the success of painting is in the preparation, that's where the majority of the work's gonna be, not the painting. There was discussions on spraying versus brush, and I said, put everything in the proposal, what you're gonna do to include any lead mitigation. Referencing the library, I went with the idea that we would do minimum of one side a year, maybe two. I said, we picked either the north and south side, or the north side first year, depending upon how the bids come in. Again, it went down to surface preparation, and, there's a question that I had, and Bob, I'm gonna address it to you, because you're on the restoration committee. They wanted to make some highlights in there, taking some gray tones off the roof, and make, one painter suggested we do some highlights on the corbel, on the, like the things that run down the side, I don't know what you call them.
Corner
The
boards.
coin corners?
Corners.
The coin corners, yeah.
And he suggested.
The trim.
The trim, and he suggested that it would really make it pop, but the thing is, I'm not sure from a historical point of view that we'd wanna keep it all white, or would we accept something like that? And so that's gonna be in this proposal, I said, do it à la carte, so give a proposal with that trim and without the second color. He says, not a big thing, but that was one of the strange things he brought up.
Yeah, it's always been white ever since I've known it to be,
But I don't wanna make that decision without getting some
Can
historical
I just say that
perspective.
you came into the office for a split second, so you could give me his business card so I can get an email to him. He said he would send the quote hand delivered, but he also said that he did the Goffstown, was it the historic building? If anyone had a chance to drive by,
I've been by that.
the
so-
pond, is that on Gorham Pond?
Yeah.
In Goffstown, right on that corner there?
Mm.
If anyone had a chance to go down that road to take a look at that and see what that looks like.
Oh,
that's-
Parker Station you're talking about,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
But you see how that's the highlights he's talking about there.
so,
So that's something we'll consider, when we have the proposals, we're gonna open proposals in the meeting here and look at them.
Right, that's what you should be doing anyways, I mean,
Yep.
cause you don't want the numbers out there.
No, this is just my first blush, and, the first two were very, very good, and I said, put everything in the proposal written, and, you gotta sell yourself to the board with what you're doing and what you're not gonna do, and be specific, talk about warranties and stuff like that.
But there's no lead paint on this building, by the way.
On this one, okay,
There's no lead paint.
okay, we can,
You know how you can tell lead paint?
no,
Peel it back, the back of it has this light gray color to it.
seriously,
Yeah,
oh,
okay?
good to know.
that's how you know that it's lead paint. And the way it peels. And I went around, went around this winter and looked at it.
Yeah.
The problem they have with this building, they never primed, and you can see it on the 13 side, cause it's peeling and it's bare wood underneath.
He also says that's not only the wood and the primer, but he says that surface is glass smooth from the factory, it should have been roughed up a little bit. So in other words, we're making good progress there, we should have some definitive bids to look at by next week. They're coming in as sealed bids, so they won't be let out to everyone else.
But to be real honest, you don't have to rough it up, cause the primer they make now, when you put it on, you paint on it while it's still slightly tacky, cause the paint adheres better.
Okay.
Oh, that's good to know too, personally.
I was just a little bit flabbergasted, some people were saying, one contractor said, I asked, well, I wanna consider spraying paint, that would lower the price, and really, it's gonna be the same quality type of job. And, because I'm using a primer and a top coat. And the second gentleman I just asked, I said, well, will you be using a sprayer or a brush? He goes, oh, I'm old school, I use a brush, I think a brush is the best way of getting in the corners and getting all that kind of stuff. And there won't be overspray, and people won't be complaining about spray on the cars, the neighbors and stuff like that, and you use less paint that way. And then you waste more paint with a sprayer. And so I said, put it in your proposal, so we can make a decision next week. So those are the type of questions I was asking, I think it was pretty thorough, I spent about a good 45 minutes with each contractor as we walked the buildings, and both buildings. And the litmus test will be, a litmus test will be how much they, just make a proposal just on the front of this building. But one even offered, he's gonna include all four sides of this building. He said, this building's easy because there's no staging required, just ladders.
Right.
So we'll film at 11, as I say, next week we'll make a determination.
And even if they spray, you know, they end up, you need one man that back brushes, you know,
Yeah.
that connects all of the holidays or whatever you have, you know, so.
And now I'm gonna continue on maintenance of town buildings. We also had some quotes, Lean, if you'd help me out in here on the electrical work at
Yep.
the transfer station.
Yep, they were in the basket,
Okay,
did you grab them?
I grabbed the basket, but I didn't think the electrical work was in there.
Lee, did we get any more quotes back on the town garage electrical work either?
No, but after seeing the ones we got for the, transfer station, I thought, I did contact the same electrician, he said he's just been straight out busy, so he hasn't been able to get down there. And then All-Star also said that, let him know when the guy wants to get down there, he'll meet him there, so he looks at the schematics of what he needs to do, see if he wants to give a quote on all the electrical. Because the electrical that we have here, you don't have that,
No, it was kind of an empty inbox.
okay,
Okay,
I'll go get that, I'm sorry.
okay, while, I'm gonna continue this one here.
Yep.
While we're getting we'll take a break from that for a moment to keep in the spirit of moving things forward. This is just a letter that was drafted, but we take a gander at that.
Is this going under mail?
This is just, no, not mail, it's a letter was drafted going out to the,
Oh, score.
the letter of appreciation
Oh, okay, thank you.
to the garden club.
Looks good to me.
Yeah.
Is this the chair?
That's what that's the person who actually did the majority of the work, yes.
Oh, okay. We'll sign it now
Yep.
then.
It's just, that's something we approved last week, we drafted.
Yeah, I read it, should, had me take a look at it.
Okay.
Now, wasn't there another appreciation letter you guys
Yes,
talked about?
she's working on that now.
Okay.
Can I see that before you pass it
Absolutely,
down?
absolutely, yes. I wanna confirm that before it goes forward, though.
I didn't know if Bob knew, that's why I was asking here.
It's wrong, I just think that name is wrong. Should go to this person here.
That's what I
I
was
think-
thinking.
I think the name
Is
is
it, who's on the envelope?
Donna.
Donna. So I think the letter's right, but I'm gonna.
Is it Donna or is it Tom Casano?
Either or, this is addressed to the wrong person. Well, we have two letters, one's beautifying the town common, and one is a thank you for the efforts that were made for the event that was had.
Yeah, it's on the phone.
Right. And so we get the names confused here, so I'm gonna go like this for now. Scratch it. And recheck.
That was a finished letter.
I know. That says, so it doesn't go out.
Yeah, cause you CC'd me.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
I might have saved them to my files instead of printing them.
We can put that letter, as soon as it's drafted correctly, in the inbox, and we'll sign it during the week as we come in next week.
Is Enid the one from the garden club, or is
Did I
it
print the
Tom?
wrong one?
You did.
Is it Tom Casano, or? I don't know, I know it was Tom for a while,
Oh, well,
and I don't know who it is.
I know Donna does the minutes, and I get correspondence from her on a regular basis.
So you
Would you-
send it to Donna?
Yes, care of.
Okay.
I guess I must have printed off the
It's
wrong
okay,
one. I'm
it's
sorry.
okay.
It's been a very busy week.
It happens. So the thing is, I'm glad we caught it before it went out.
Yep, yep.
Okay, so this is, the proposal for electrical work, it's page 2, I'll let you read that, take a gander at that. While they're looking at that, could you give a synopsis?
The electrical,
work.
at the previous, last week or the week before, the board had, discussed some of the, prioritized building maintenance that needed to be done, throughout the town. And Woody brought these items to your attention, so he had said he'd spoken to him during the budget process to get these quotes, so we got them in writing to address just the 3 items that, we feel are more life safety rather than, needs or wants.
Do they seem reasonable in your book? That's the question we're asking. For the amount of electrical work, I thought the prices were, sounded very fair.
And again, this is the same electrician that I have put a call to for the work that needs to be done in the highway garage.
Right. And I think this is the one Woody also said, he knows the back, like, the electrical work down, he's done electrical work already down in the transfer
Yep,
station.
yep.
So he's got the knowledge of it,
Right,
so.
So this is just the
This
total
is,
of those?
right, that's
Yeah.
just,
I think it looks
I looks
reasonable.
very reasonable.
yeah, yeah.
Doesn't look out of line.
Right.
Did they get any other quotes, or did they try to get any other quotes?
Woody, back when, during the budget season, he did.
He
And
did?
He was the only
Okay.
one that
And he was
came up with
The
a
only one,
fair number that he was able to work
Okay.
with for the budget.
all right.
So,
Yeah.
we can make a proposal on this one and execute if we need
Yeah,
to.
cause we'd like to get some of the things done.
That's right,
Is
we're
it
trying to
piling
check
up?
If we
off,
miss it, it gets much busier, we might not find
I know
anybody
it.
to bid on anything, so.
right,
So,
Yeah.
I'll make a proposal that we authorize this,
Make a motion.
make a motion that we authorize this expenditure of dollars for the electrical services at the town Dunbarton transfer station.
I'll second that.
Give it a total on
That's a total of
next page.
$1,685 for electrical repairs to the transfer station building.
Let me give a copy to everybody.
Any further discussion on that?
No, really, I know, I just wanted to make sure that he had, and I think, now that I remember, he had asked one person to never get back to him.
right. I think it was
Yeah, he-
actually two.
Yeah, there was two, one of them was supposed to get back to him, and he asked to call the second time,
Mhm.
I believe, and still
Yep.
didn't get anything.
Yep.
That was the only number he had.
What I was speaking in reference was to the lighting at the,
Highway, that is
Highway,
John
right.
Stevens, he's working with trying to get a grant.
okay,
What All-Star is working with is the, life
The-
safety in the sense of the fire.
these are both.
The fire alarm and the electrical to install
Says
the,
the total on it.
Yeah, we need to, John should have something, hopefully something sooner than later.
I was thinking they were gonna have something the following week, and we haven't heard anything in a couple of weeks now, so.
so give John a
If
reminder.
we could just
ask-
follow up on it and
ask-
see,
yeah.
cause I'd like to get started on that work as well, 'cause
So we can execute this contract.
Okay, and that was the, lighting with the grant,
Correct.
yeah, for the highway department.
yeah,
And we were gonna get a second price on electrical work, weren't we, at the public safety building here, the. Or we gonna get
electrical,
John was supposed to get some,
that was John again,
right,
he was,
Okay.
so he needs to come back to us with some action, if he's got some, further information.
okay, update, yeah.
Just so we keep things rolling on that.
I agree, totally agree. Okay, now I wanna just talk about, we need a work session in June, and let's talk about the month of June, some meeting dates. This is under other business. Cory? Thing is, we agreed that we wanted to have a work session where we could talk about the personnel manual for the town of Dunbar
All right,
employees.
before we go into that, can I just point out that, David Allen, picked up the phone and contacted me today. He said that he will hold a meeting sooner than later as, upon your request. So he's looking at Monday, June 12th. And he said that the board can set the time, he's available all day, but he'd prefer later in the day. Because they'll be returning from
This is
vacation.
referencing,
Ethics,
oh, outstanding. It's not a Tuesday.
so,
It's a Monday.
it's a Monday,
Okay,
so,
we'll put that down as a time. So we'll have ethics training, he wants it earlier in the day,
no, later,
later.
yeah.
What would be a appropriate time?
Unless you wanna piggyback your workshop and your ethics training all on the same day.
I
I
won't
don't
be
think
here.
we,
No,
Oh, you won't be here
I
on the
don't think we
12th?
should piggyback.
No, I don't
Well,
get
that's-
back till the 13th.
I'll only be
We're gonna-
allowed
we
so
will
many
have 2
hours.
minutes.
I leave the, and I've taken that last year
Yep,
and very familiar with it anyways.
all right,
okay,
I will be there,
okay,
So you pick the time,
I'll pick the time.
and if I can make it, I'll make it.
Okay, if you were gonna make it, what time would it be for you? 7:30?
No, make it whatever time.
you could do
makes
4
sense.
o'clock, 5 o'clock?
Oh, you want it early or later, you
Yeah,
said?
right, no, just not in the first thing in the morning, because
Oh,
he's
okay.
back from vacation Sunday night late.
I thought you said push it late.
No, anytime afternoon time,
It'll just depend if I have hay down, I don't know.
Okay, in all fairness to the other employees, we can do it during the workday, so if other employees in the town wanna participate, so I
Yeah.
could do it at maybe 1 o'clock.
okay,
Or, to give an alternate, we'll do it at 3 o'clock.
okay, I
That way the
think
employees can go and,
personally 3 o'clock, and if I invite the transfer station employees, that's over and above their regular schedule.
at 3 o'clock?
And Mondays, they don't work,
Okay,
it's not a scheduled work day.
the thing is, so it doesn't matter for that. If they come, they come.
Mhm.
So,
But if they come, we have to pay them to come.
right,
Yeah, I don't think that's a big deal
No.
for an hour's worth of.
yeah.
Yeah.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock
Yep,
on,
and we'll give them a 3 o'clock principal, 1 o'clock as the alternate, and both times can work for me. And give them the opportunity, since they're hosting it, I give them an opportunity of the final say.
our personnel plan says if you call someone in, unless
You
you're
gotta pay them
scheduled
3 hours.
3
now.
hours.
Just, that's the
When we
Department
get
of
done,
Labor.
we'll send them down there to clean up.
Department of Labor says when you
Yeah.
call someone in for
Yeah.
less than 3 hours, you still have to pay 3 hours.
Well, we agreed we wouldn't have it on Tuesday, that was the request of the general public last time we had talked about it.
No, that was just you, Mike.
No. The gentleman's helping me out here, come on, help me out here, Frank.
You know, no, if the people at the transfer station,
Yeah.
if you need to have them do this, do it during their workday where a few can leave for that short, cause it's
Mm.
about 25 minutes.
The-
So they could leave for a short
The
period of
best day for the
time.
transfer station, where we have so many, is Thursdays. They're closed to the public.
Okay, let's go back to them and ask them if they can do it Thursdays early, maybe they're 1 or 3.
Okay, so we'll try for Thursday, and that would be the
That's,
15th?
that's the day we
Or-
meet, so.
Yeah. Oh. 15th?
Yep.
Thursday.
I can report back to you all.
And then I can schedule the new hire to be here for those hours.
Right,
Okay.
okay,
Well, this calendar's already messed up.
all right. All right, now, anything else before I want a workshop day in there.
Okay, all right, no, mine's just.
Okay, last 2 weeks in June, we're targeting the workshop, is that correct, gentlemen?
You wanna do the 21st or the 20th?
Any one of those 2 days are fine for me.
I'd say the 21st or the 28th, somewhere there.
Let's go
Okay.
21st,
This is June.
June 21st. What time you wanna meet? You wanna go at 6:30 to, let's say,
No, I don't wanna meet that night.
oh, during the day?
I'm thinking it.
Oh,
You
that's
wanna meet
actually,
at 4?
that's a planning board night anyways.
How about, can we meet at 3 so we don't,
Oh,
That's your
okay,
planning
three's fine.
3's fine.
3 PM?
Yep.
And if we go back and check our calendars, if this issue,
Right,
we'll readjust, but
so
Workshop,
workshop, and that's for the personnel handbook.
Yep.
Lean, are you gonna be present to, make the adjustments, for the radio?
Absolutely, yep.
Okay, just as a reminder also, as you look at the calendar, June 6th is, we have election day. Correct?
That's, preliminary, right,
Primary.
primary. And then, when's the final election, November?
No, July.
July.
July right after that, huh? Cause that date was picked already as well, right?
By the state, yes.
What date is it in July?
25th.
Thank you.
We will have those dates, or those
Yeah.
on the regular calendar.
Yep.
Okay, any other things we gotta put on the calendar for June? And the thing is, we were talking about who's not gonna be here, and who's gonna be here, there's gonna be some issues.
The only time
We'll get
I'm gonna be gone in October for,
Okay,
I'm
Bob?
gonna go out west.
What?
in October.
June, you said you can't be here in what particular?
Right, I'm leaving the 7th at 6 o'clock in the morning, right
Okay,
after the primary, and I'm coming back the 13th.
okay, so we already have the 8th blocked off, so we're good. I think the calendar's still good.
Yep.
Any further discussion on the calendar?
I'm sorry, Bob, what dates did you have, what date to what date?
What's that?
What date are you on vacation?
Well, actually, I wouldn't want that in the minutes.
Okay.
But-
I
It
didn't know.
happens to work on a Thursday that we're not
Right.
meeting, so it works out well.
It's an OBE,
Okay.
Oreo of Compliance.
All right.
All right, now I'm gonna go, we got a few things in the inbox. One of them was an FYI, everyone looked at it, it's just, we have forest ranger approval.
Yeah, that's-
Winning John Wigan,
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is,
deputy forest ranger, that what it is, or
okay,
the forest ranger?
no action needed, it's just an FYI.
Yep.
For the minutes, once you make sure Corinne gets that.
Yeah. Reappoint forest fire warden for Dunbarton, John Wigan. And it also lists the deputy warden on the second page.
And also this week, this was a busy week for the town, because we had the auditors come in. They were here, starting 2 days ago, and yet today.
Yesterday and today they were here.
And are they finished, or are they still working?
No, they have, at least one more day, possibly a second day to finalize.
Okay, and preliminary results are looking good, or
Yeah, I think
they
they're.
come out with some recommendations for us?
They will, and they're really a good company to work with, they always have, tips, advice, you know. We've implemented a lot of, policies, we discussed the cash box, with the treasurer and the auditor today for Linda's request, and, so they've always got some good insights and
Okay,
possibly some, additional policies.
they'll send us a written report, I'm sure, and all that kind of stuff.
Yep,
Okay,
absolutely, yeah.
and I have also in the inbox was the thing on this, some information on this, was this,
Reconciling, yeah, that
Okay.
was reviewed with the auditor, and again, the whole purpose of meeting with the auditor is they're experts in accounting, and, if there's, additional recommendations, they'll, recommend those, you know, constructively, so that we
Okay.
can work and get improved.
but no huge red flags yet?
No, I think we're looking really good in that
Can you
area.
just make me a copy of that, it'd be easier than me writing everything
Sure,
down, thank you.
Yep,
Is there any action on this, this is just an
no, I
FYI?
usually have the board sign that second page on that.
And Lean, while we're on the subject of that, did we get the, town meeting minutes to the state people in town?
I asked, no, they're due 20 days after town meeting, I did ask Linda again, and
I saw that email.
I thought she would have responded, and I meant to ask her again this week, and I haven't had a chance to. So
Okay,
those have not come forward yet. And those are the pick items that the DRA has to have in place before they even look at any of our data.
Mhm.
And the longer it takes us to get our records together, we get put at the end of the list for reviewing and setting the tax rate, so that's why it's important to get a lot of that information in.
okay.
Has she said anything yet?
No, I haven't,
Okay,
I thought of it when I was with the auditors, cause we were talking about different things, and you just reminded me again.
it was in the minutes, I thought you sent an email out already, though.
I did,
Okay,
but I have not received a response.
I'm not sure where we have to sign here on this one, and what are we looking at?
Just the first page, lift up the first page.
Yeah,
It's just like a manifest, it has the signature lines for all the selectmen.
okay,
To basically say that the treasurer is agreeing, I'm agreeing, and you acknowledge that we're working on reconciling.
in the tabs, there's two tabs here, they have any
That is-
significance?
No, it's for the treasurer to flip, I'm trying to make it easy.
Okay. I'm just trying to make, before I don't like signing things that I don't fully understand, just give me one more stop. I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at the spreadsheet, and it's saying that, we have some money, we spent some money, we took some money in, that's all I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's basically showing that if you look at the third page, you have a Quicken report, and then you have a BMSI report. So there's your Quicken report, that's Pam's.
Okay,
And then if you go a couple pages further, you'll see the BMSI report, and you see the ending balances. Keep going. Keep going. That was just support information for
Okay.
my, adjustments.
so let me check. Gotcha.
Okay, so keep going, one more time. See that sheet, that's a BMSI report. You can see the top column at the very top,
Yes,
where I say, I've initialed it and say a balance.
yes,
That's the same number that's on Pam's.
so we're in sync,
Correct.
okay.
So it's basically taking all of our cash accounts, all of our bond accounts, and the checkbook accounts, and consolidating them on
How many
that sheet.
times a year you do that?
Every month. Every month. This is the, where I'm trying to work in additional help in the office to work with reconciling the books because of the amount of time that's involved and, to alleviate some of my work duties. So it's a work in progress. I've, gathered some job descriptions from different towns for bookkeeping and, HR person to try to start with a job description. And then, Melanson and Heath said that they would work with possibly coming up with like a procedural step on how to
Okay,
get someone in place so that they feel comfortable doing that. Again, this is the hardest one because there's 2 years, you have old year, new year, and you have transactions that are being processed in new year that are affecting old year
yeah.
expenses.
One proposal I saw that I witnessed when I first came in, there were so many last minute expenditures that were executed in the last few weeks of December, and they weren't paid, and then we had New Year's, and the money was, which pot of money does it come out of? It was a very difficult in the year to, determine.
Do we have to sign this page as well with our
No,
signature?
no, that was actually just the report that came up for, again, my support for those outstanding action
But,
items.
but the year, when I'm saying the year, I'm gonna go back to year-end reconciliation, where we spend money in this year and pay it the following year. We may have to institute a early cutoff of routine expenditures, closer to the end of the calendar year.
Yep.
And only allow, by exception, i.e. a snowstorm, electric bill, the typical bills that we normally get in, but, spending at the last, on December 29th cannot be tolerated anymore. It just makes it a nightmare, from what I understand.
Yep, yep.
So we'll address that as we get closer to the end of the year.
Pam likes to compare her reports with the BMSI report, so I flag them for her.
As long as they match, I like that. Kayleen, there's a couple other things I know you had on your plate, I just wanna see where we are with a few of them, if you have some updates.
Okay, those were follow-up from last week.
Yep.
I think the board had asked that I draft up a letter, thank you. And I think I identified that one group was 3 different people that probably should have their own. So because of the, my workload this week, that has not been addressed, so that's work in progress. We'll take care of that for next week.
The lawyer, did we have something with the lawyer?
Oh, yes, the lawyer, you asked me to draft something up. She's requested some information, but it's a lot of the contract related, so I haven't been able to pull that together, cause I went right straight in with the auditor, so that's a work in progress. So
I
as soon
mean,
as-
speaking about that, we're talking about the steel up in the.
Yes.
Correct, yep,
Can I get a copy of that original contract so that I
Absolutely.
understand it?
Yeah, yeah.
And then also, can
Makes
you
sense.
give me a copy of their invoices where they requested those 2 payments, because I'm kinda uncertain how we only owe them $5,000, and
Yeah.
they realistically
Yeah.
have only the steel fabricated and carried upstairs there.
mhm,
And we've got them over 3/4 of the way paid.
mhm.
So I'd like to follow their invoicing and see how that happened, because, we're not in the driver's seat anymore, obviously. They are.
No, I don't believe so.
We only owe them $5,000 from your statement that you showed
Oh,
us.
that's correct, because they think they had more.
Right,
Well, the contract read that upon, signing the agreement, they wanted $10,000, which basically the board agreed that that's probably to cover the majority of, or a big part of the materials, which is common,
yeah.
and,
So how do we make that second payment with them is what I'm wondering, without having more of the work done?
they invoiced us for they got all the wood installed, we had, Joel inspect it,
Yeah,
and then it was the dilemma of the steel that got delivered
Yeah,
after the fact that wasn't fabricated correctly.
and did I hear it right, did we pay Cohen Steel for the steel?
Nope.
We haven't,
Nope,
so that's up to them.
yes, it's all through them, they placed the order.
But
Yeah, if you can give me that, cause I know it's gonna come down to something legal here eventually, but I'd like to have the background to the.
Sure,
I have like a
yeah,
packet on it. and
Yep, yep.
We're all kind of
New.
new to it, and that way there we can kind of follow it and get it resolved, hopefully.
Yeah, I actually did give a lot of that information in that email that I responded to them and CC'd you,
Yep,
but, I'll print it off so you have hard copies.
yeah, and
Also,
I
wanted to
didn't
look
see
at
the original contract.
You wanted to have a view of the plan. Do we have a copy of the blueprints too that the engineer worked on?
Yep, yep.
They should probably stay in the building, but I think she has, but she can review them.
Yeah,
I know you asked about that the other day.
yeah, you're right.
You want it electronically, or do you want it printed off?
If you print them, I'll stop and grab them.
Okay,
How about that, that way I can read them at my leisure and have a hard copy.
okay.
You know, we spent a lot of work on this library already.
Yeah, still have a lot more to
I
go.
tell you, it's, all right. I'm gonna take an alibi in the library. We walked around the building, if you remember last week, and, things, we mentioned something about the steps, the stone steps, I think it was you. You mentioned something about the steps being need repaired, the concrete, front steps.
No, wasn't me.
Well, someone said this, so it's stuck in my mind, so, thing is, one of the painters also pointed out to me, I said, you know, we are looking into that, but he has a mason, who was a seasoned mason, right here of his cart. He's willing to come in and talk to us as a member of the board, probably in a week or two, more than likely, next week.
Yeah, you know, I looked at that with my brother last year. I mean, I don't care how much concrete that guy's done. We've done thousands of yards in a week. There's something that can be done for that.
Yeah,
But you have to understand that when they do the work upstairs, let them do the work upstairs if they do get to that, cause it's not gonna change anything in the front. That concrete is at its lifespan, so it's going the other way, but it's slow and, you know,
Okay.
once it cures, it takes just as long for it to disintegrate, so.
should we, then the question is, should we do anything about it now?
Well, nobody uses the front yet, and when we get to the point where we're gonna use the front, that could be integrated with whatever's going on upstairs, having somebody come in and do all that. Cause all it takes is jackhammering that slab off of there
Okay,
and changing that over and reforming it and pouring it.
okay.
What's
So-
it, pitted or something?
Oh, it's in.
Well, number one is the slab towards the building is settled a little bit, so it tips that way. But it's also cracking and it's starting, concrete takes 100 years to cure, and then it goes the other way. This concrete is at that stage,
Mhm.
it's going the other way.
It looks in disrepair,
Okay.
but the thing is, I just wanna make sure that we're going in the right direction. If we don't need, we can hold off on it for the time
Well,
being.
because it isn't necessary, and you have the Public Works building that needs some staining, renailing or whatever. You've got buildings in town that are functional right now that you need to address before you address a certain part of a building
Okay,
that we're not even utilizing yet.
okay,
You know, we're trying to catch up with lighting, electrical, which is taking a chunk out of a budget
true.
of where we could paint buildings so that we have everything that is working good. And actually, one of my questions was, I don't know if Jeff's cut that concrete yet for his door, but I can remember last year, that was a big thing about having that door in.
Yeah, cause the plows were gonna be a
Right.
problem to get through the doorway.
Yeah, and still, we haven't cut that and have somebody do that before the winter time comes. So those are things that we need to get done first before we look
Okay.
for
Well, the thing is,
other things.
when we made the walk around, someone said, it stuck to me, someone said something, but one of you guys said something to me with the concrete, and I just.
I
stuck
did
with
the
my-
gutters over here, but you know,
Okay, but,
Well, Lee might have mentioned that
Okay.
to you when we were out front
yeah,
a while ago, you know, that it needs some work. But I mean, that's something that
oh,
you
I,
can
oh,
come down the road,
understood.
it's not a
So we
necessary
can we
item.
can put that
You
on
can
the-
hang on to it.
Right, put that in the maintenance, file there.
Yep, I will, yep, okay.
As a potential. Okay. Any other further, since we were on maintenance, so any other further things we need addressed tonight, or get some departments working on stuff? I mean,
I will stop and see Jeff and talk with him about that door, and maybe we start the wheels working with that, so.
because we get some work at the library, get to work at the transfer station, get some work coming here, we gotta spread this around a little bit,
Sounds good.
I'll stop and talk to Jeff about that doorway.
alright?
And when I scan this to Ernie, I'll make sure I pick up the phone and talk to him personally about getting that quote to work with All-Star to get that,
Yep,
fire.
A
is
joint,
that-
a joint installation, so they can
Right.
use the same lift, correct? That was, in
No, I don't think.
just
that's-
electrical
I don't-
requirements, though.
I think for what it costs, that it's not worth trying to struggle and get two different groups in the way of each other,
yeah.
so.
Okay, alright, go on the table before I go to public comment. Lean, anything else for the group?
Just that, I already talked about the auditors and, nope, and the ethics, so those are the only two items I had to
Okay.
bring forward.
Bob, anything for the group?
Well, so we already addressed the town garage thing, so that's one of the things. The other thing though is I've noticed an email, Linda's the deputy welfare,
Yeah,
and they have a.
Training?
Training
mhm,
that she'd like to go to, and I
Yeah.
notice it's only for, but we have training money anyway.
there is
Right.
some, we'll probably overspend, but I've already told her it's important that she goes.
Yeah, okay,
She's
good.
already-
I just wanna make sure
Yep.
that was addressed, you know,
Yes,
cause
absolutely,
better to have someone knowing what they're doing than not knowing what they're
exactly,
doing.
because if you don't address things the proper way, we can get in hot water.
Yep.
Yeah, when I emailed her, said I thought it was a good idea already as well, so.
Yep.
We're all on the same page.
Yep.
I think,
Yep.
There's no-
But I wanted to bring it up at the table, so it's a, you know, matter of record.
Sure, yeah, yeah, we've already got the invoice printed and we'll process it next Tuesday.
Anything else?
That's it.
Dave,
I think we've already talked about all the issues.
Corinne? And we'll open up to the public, Fred again,
Nope.
okay?
No.
Okay, at this point, there is one subject I'd like to go into, non-public.
Is it C? Is it,
I'm gonna read it off in today, or,
is it C?
She's gonna
I've got
check.
the RSA
Okay,
right here.
It's ours, here you go.
okay,
I think it's C. Green highlight.
alright. Now, I'm gonna, help me out procedurally, this is the time we just, we're gonna make it a motion
Motion.
that we go into non-public.
Correct, under RSA.
Under RSA 91:alpha 3, Roman number 2,
Yep,
C.
correct.
Can I read the green?
All in favor?
No, that's
No,
not right.
no, but we have to have a second first, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll second the motion.
Now we do it individually.
No, affirmative.
Kaminsky, yes.
Yes. Martel.
Yes. Time is 7:52.
Dave?
Yep.